Hey guys, can you hear me? Hey Michael, can you share your screen and then we can do a demo? All right, everyone. Today we have Michael again. He wanted to give us a demo on the last week homework. So I'm waiting for him to just share his screen and then we can start. And it's Michael Yang, okay? All right. And Michael, I cannot hear you. Can you unmute yourself? Hey Michael, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. So yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay. So this is basically what we did last week. I didn't add too much, but it's basically the same thing. So last week we did this function, right, to return which number is the biggest and which is the smallest. So the only thing I added was that you can choose if you want to find the bigger one or the smaller one. So it asks you if you want big or small, and then whatever you type will be the size. So this is the function, but this if loop is the one that controls what happens. So if you typed big, then it uses the bigger function to find the bigger one, and then it tells you that. Otherwise, if you choose small, then you'll print the smaller one. And why does it say this? Oh, well, it should work when I run this. So if I say big, then it would return the biggest number. And I'll try small and 3. So it takes the smallest number. And you can also make it so that you can choose what to type inside here. So for example, if you make all these like variables and the variable is input, then you could have a custom list of your own numbers and it would still choose the biggest or the smallest. So yeah, that's basically it.
All right. Thank you, Michael. It's wonderful. So anyone, if you want to do the demo, please let me know. Okay, you can. Yeah. If you send me an email or send me something, so and you said I want to do a demo, or if you send me the homework, and usually I will ask if you want to do a demo or not. If you say yes, and then we can do the demo, right? Yeah, let's see. So so I'm going to turn off my Zoom, and because we don't need Zoom, and if you still want to talk to me, you can talk to me after the class on YouTube. Again, smallest apple in a bag. So basically, in the computer, it just like scenario of list of hello. Okay, so I think now is bad. I think you guys can hear me right now. Am I correct? If it's not, and please let me know. So let me know if you still cannot hear me. Can you hear me now? All right. Sounds problem. And now I just go to the schools like every week, and we just go through what we learn. And W3 schools, and now I have to go Python and learn Python. So yeah, usually you Python or any programming language, and you don't need me and any teacher. If you have time, you just go through the tutorial in W3 school. This program, and once you are familiar with the syntax, and most likely all the programming language will be almost the same. So what we learned so far is we learned something called data type, and which we have numeric data type, including the So how about now? What? So, hear me, guys? How about now? Can anyone hear me now? How about now? It should be fine. Can anyone hear me? All right, better again. Sorry about that. Probably my microphone had some problem, so I just switched back to the Chrome using my MacBook microphone. So it should be okay. If there's anything wrong, please let me know. All right, so I just go back to all right. So let's see. What we learn right now. We already learned the numeric types, which is the number like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and all the number is integer number. And then we might use some decimal number like 0.5 or 1.5. It's called float in Python. And we also learn leaks, and we really use tuple because tuple just looks like leaks. Instead, tuple you cannot change the value in the leaks. Once you assign the tuple to a variable, you would not be able to change the value in the leaks. So that's the only difference. And once you use leaks, you got to use a bracket and square bracket to wrap the leaks and separate by the commas. And for the tuple, you use a parenthesis to wrap them. And for a range, and we already use range, like they can generate leaks like from 0 to the any number subtract 1. Or you can make a start value from 1, or from the start number to the value you assign to the range, and just subtract 1. And for dictionary, we already learned dictionary, because dictionary is just use a brace and wrap some item, and each item has the key and value. So we have key and value. And also we use the Boolean type here. And what does it mean? It just means true or false, and true or false. Okay. So we learn numbers. So and someone might already have experience on complex, because when you learn the math and you learn what is complex means. But some of you guys might not learn it in math, so I'm not going to do that in our class. But you definitely can go through that, and you go all the way to to here, and you see what compress means. If you learn math, you should understand what compress means. Okay. Also, there's a funny library called random, and we use the random to generate different choice and random number. Okay, it's just a random library. But if you want more random things, you have to go to the go to the module and see what kind of method they will give you, and you can do the random things with the random library. And of course you can convert the between the data types. Like if you have a integer, you can convert it to float. From float you can back to the integer, or from integer to string, or string to the float, or whatever you want. And they just can most of the time they can convert between the data types. And string, we learn a lot, and we learn just how to use a string. And a string is like they are wrapped by a code, or either single code or double code. And you can have the multiple strings, like multiple line string, and which just use triple double code or triple single code, whatever. But you can wrap it, and then you have multiple lines. All right, so string looks like an array, or you said it's like a list in Python. And what they trigger, the string is you start from the index 0, and then index 1, index 2, index 3, index 4, index 5, index 6, and then go on. And then you can go to the specific position by just putting an index on the on your string. Like for example, for this case, if you said I put the string into a variable of A, and then if you want to go to the E, so the E position E is on the index 1, because 0 here, 1 here, so that's why you have A 1, and then you go to the E, letter E. Okay, yeah, and again you can do from the position 2 to position 5, like using the 2 to 5, but separate by the column. So from 2 to 5 is like you count from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's why we get LLO, not LOL. All right, so LLO. And of course in Python you can do negative indexing. Negative indexing is like you count it from the end, like from 0 here, and then -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. Just go backward. And also we have a function called len, and this function called len, whatever you put into the len parameter inside this parenthesis, and just give you how long of the string. If you put the array into a list into the length parameter, it will give you how many items in the list. Okay, or if you give yeah, that's how the length function works. Just give whatever you want to give it into the parameters. It will return the length of the string or a list. And of course there's some function like strike p. It just helps you to remove the white space from the beginning or from the end. And we haven't used that yet, but you can imagine it's easier. You just put A is a variable, you just strike, do this strike, and it will give you hello world without the space in here and in here. Okay, and now you have a lower uppercase and replace You can replace the any string inside your I mean the substring inside the string to the other string, in which we haven't covered that yet. And we also can do the split, and you can split a string with a character, or what they call is separator. So you can use the split function to do that. And there are a lot here, and I want you to go through them if you have time, because I won't be able to go through all of them. So that is for string. And we also learn operators, which is easier, just like the math, and except multiple, they use this symbol for the multiple, and this symbol for divide. We used this one before, like a percentage. What the percentage means, they will give you a remainder. Okay, and we haven't used this yet. Okay, and the most important thing you need to understand is the list. What the list means it's just a whole bunch of items and separate by commas, and now they have and wrap it by the bracket. Okay, so you can make a list, and each item you can access the items, just use the index. Like this one is 1, 0, and this one is 1, and this one is 2. So 0, 1, 2. Okay, so again, like the string, you can use the negative indexing, and you count it from 0 here, -1, -2, -3. There's no 3. All right, and you can have 2 to 5, like just 2 to 5, like 2 to 5. Okay, so hopefully you can understand how the lists work, and you can also change the value inside the item. Like this item, you can change the number 1 to the other item. And we jump to the dictionary, which we learned just a few weeks ago, and it has the key and value. Like this dictionary, it has the obviously it's for a car, so they have the key called brand, and then the brand is Ford, and have a model, have a year. So that's how they define a dictionary. And of course, you want to change the value inside your dictionary. You just use the dictionary variable name, and you mention the key, and now you can get the value of the model. And again, and you can use this function called get to get the from the key to the value, which the model is Mustang. And of course, you can change the value just like in the list, but instead of putting the index, you put the key, and now assign a new value to the dictionary. And of course, here you can look through the dictionary, use the for loop. But yeah, we haven't used that yet. But yeah, you will use this somehow later, but not that important here. And we learn if else. We learn if there's a condition. If the condition is true, and you will do this block. Like if this condition is true, then you will go to this block. Otherwise, you should have the else here, like if, else, and you do this block. And in the middle, you can add more else, if, and they use something called elif, else, if, and now they have the condition here. It is the this condition have to return true or false, and now you can do this code block, and also that is easier. And we also learn the loops called while loops, and you just looping, and every time they will come back to the loop here to evaluate this condition. If the condition is true, it will continue to looping it and go one round, second round, and third round. And today we will work on a while loop question, and we will do the exercise on the while loop first. All right, so now I want you to pull out the repelit. That is the website. You do the exercise. If you don't have PyCharm, like I copy it and paste, put it here. Okay. If you don't have the PyCharm, you can use repelit to do your exercise. But like me, because I already have the PyCharm, so I just turn on my PyCharm. I will use the PyCharm to do the demo. So I also want you to use the PyCharm and get used to it. All right. So today we have the question like this. I show you when I was a kid. I tried to solve a problem like this called frog in the well. Okay. So the story is like this. Like for example, this image. There's a frog. Let's call it Mr. Frog. It trapped it in the well, in this well. So you want to get jump out from the well, but like this. He has the problem like this. I'll show you. Where's my PowerPoint? Let's see, where's my PowerPoint? Oh, there we go. All right, so we have Mr. Frog, and this. Oh. So I have I try to solve the question like this. I have a frog. Mr. Frog is down the well, so he tried to jump out from the well. But like this, in the daytime, Mr. Frog will jump 3 meters. 3 meters in the daytime. But at the night time, so he just slept. He do sleep, and while he's sleeping, he jump 3 meters. While he's sleeping, he will sleep, like he will go down. Let's just slip down 2 meters. Okay, and the well has 10 meters high or deep. So the question is, how many days Mr. Whale, Mr. Frog can jump out of the well? All right, so that's the question. Let me repeat it one more time. So Mr. Frog is at the bottom of the well, and every day he can jump 3 meters high. But at the night time, since he is sleeping, and now he go down 2 meters. And again, the next day, he jump another 3 meters, and then it go down 2 meters. Now, he only have he go down 2 meters, and for the next day, he just keep jumping 3 meters. And the question is, how many days Mr. Frog can jump out from the well? Okay, it's the math problem when I was a kid. I still remember it. And I want you to take a little bit of time and you can tell me what's the answer. Okay, just sorry about that, kids. It's just a math problem. And although we will solve it by the Python. And if you know the answer, please let me know and put it into the chat box. And if you don't understand the question, I will just repeat it for you. Yeah, if anyone has the answer, please let me know. So I saw on the chat box everyone saying, someone saying 8 days, someone saying 10 days. So it's 8 days or 10 days or 9 days or 7 days. Yeah, so week test set is 11 days. And one set is 7 days. And drop set, he shouldn't sleep. Yeah, that's a good idea. But he have to sleep. All right, so let's just figure it out. Okay, so for day 1, let's just saying day 1. Let me do this. Day 1. Okay. Now his day 1, Mr. Frog is start from 0, right? Because he is at the bottom. And now after he jump, he's at 3. Okay, he's at 3. Okay, and after at night time he slept, so it just he's at the after the, by the end of the day, because he slept and then he had 3 subtract 2, which is 1. Okay, that's day 1. That's day 1 because obviously he jumped and now he's on the day 1. Okay, and now let's just see, is he out of the well? Obviously it's not. The well, so let's just say out is no. Okay, so I may just do this day 1 and jump, and now you have the and it's out, no, and the n should be just 1 because 3 subtract 2 equal to 1. All right, so that's the day 1, and now he's at 1. All right, so the second day I just copied the same thing and paste here, and now they start from 1 because it ends on 1, and now they jump. After jump, it should be from 1 to plus 3, it should be 4, and after he slept and he only go back to 2 because 4 wait a minute, it's 1 plus 3 equal to 4, and now 4 subtract 2 equal to 2 because he slipped down and go back to 2. You see out of the well? No. All right, so I just keep doing this, and at the meantime I want you to do the same thing on a paper if you have it, and we will see how many days it will out of the well. Three, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I will have 8 days. So now it's 3. Now this one is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So if you start from here is 4. Now day 3 is start from 2, and now it jump 2 plus 3 is 5, and now by the end it would be 3, and again is 3, now is 6, now is 3, is 4, now is 4, 7, 5, and now is 5, 7, 8, now is 6. Here is 6, now is 9, and here is 7. Now here is 7, and jump is 10. And now on the day A, when he's jumped to 10 and he's out of the well, right? When he's jumped from from the day 8, jump from 7, and he can jump out of the well. And now he didn't slip. Even he slipped, he won't slip away. So that means by the end it's also 10, because it won't. He's already jumped out from the well. So is it out? The question is yes. So my answer is day 8. So 8 days, Mr. Frog can jump out from the well. So let's look back. And basically every day he just take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then jump out all the way from the 7 to 10. And he get out from the well, and he sleep at nighttime, it won't sleep down. Okay, so the answer is 8. Now you get what I'm talking about? Now let's do, based on this story, we are using the Python to solve the problem. And of course in math, you just saying, because every day he got 1, and then you can imagine on the day 8, he jumped from 7 all the way to 10. And now he can get out from the well. And now we will work on the Python things. And again, in PyCharm, you need to create a file. Right click and just create Python file. Right click, choose new, and now choose Python file. And let's just name it frog. So I have a file called frog. Okay, if you are on repelit, so you can work on here. So pretty much they are the same. What I'm going to do is just make it bigger. Like 18. Make it bigger. And now let's say we have Mr. Frog. And Mr. Frog is define a dictionary for Mr. Frog. So again, our dictionary should have start, jump, and out. Okay, so you have start position, and that's the key. Okay, and now then the start position is 0, and now every day he can jump to, just jump to, so let's define also 0 here, because at the beginning we will do jump. When you jump, you have to plus 3. Now at nighttime, we have to subtract 2, because the Mr. Frog will slip down 2 meters. Okay, and is he out from the well? So you have something is called out. Now is he out from the well? You use false. False is a bool to define the the out is the value of out. Okay, so let me just print it out and see what happened. Print Mr. Frog and oops, sorry, and I just go run and choose run, and now choose frog. So I get the result like this. And start from that's the initial position, because we're going to jump from start to and from 0, and after he jump we will add 3 and slip, and then he will go down 0, and you will say, you see, out of the well, if out should be true, if not, and should be false. That's the star value. Okay, so at the meantime, I want you to do the same coding like what I have here, and let me know if you're done. So if you are in repelit and you would have the same thing like what I have here, and you should have start is 0, jump is 0, end is 0, and then you see out is false. And now we're going to do the frog, and let's define something for the frog. So let's say we want him to jump at the nighttime. So we want to like in the daytime. So daytime, day jump. Let's set day jump. All right. So the parameter is like in this function, you should put the frog inside. Let's just say the parameter is f. Okay, f stands for frog, Mr. Frog. So if in the daytime, if Mr. Frog should be jump from let me just do this instead of doing the function. Let's just do the while loop first, because you might confuse about the function. So let's just do this. While if Mr. Frog is out of the well, and we will just keep looping. And for here, I would just like while is true. It's just true, because this while we will do forever unless Mr. Frog is jump out from the web. So while true, which means this while loop will do forever. Okay, unless if Mr. Frog out and if the Mr. Frog out is true, then it will break. Okay, it will break. Otherwise, it won't break. It just continue to do looping for Mr. Loop, looping here. And now in the daytime, and Mr. Frog, what Mr. Frog will do is jump, we jump equal to Mr. Frog just jump plus 3. You got what I'm saying? Because from 0 it will jump 3. So in day 1 it will jump 3. Okay, let's just define a day here. Okay, from now a day equal to 0 from day 0. Now day equal to day plus 1. So it will add 1 day for day 1. And now if he sleep, and now Mr. Frog will have from 3 it will go down 2. So what does it means is Mr. Frog from the jump subtract 2. And now Mr. Frog will be the n will be 1 at the day 1. All right. And again, for day 2, if we go the next day, the day 2, and let's see, and Mr. Frog, the star should equal to his n. You get what I'm saying here? Because Mr. Frog for day 1 it will go down 2, and next day the start value should be the same like the n. Okay, but when should I have, if the frog go down, is out, get out from the frog, and we should always evaluate the jump, right? Because you know in the daytime when it jump, and that's the position will define the Mr. Frog's position. So what I do here, I will use Mr. Frog out should be equal to frog jump should be greater or equal to 10. Okay, all right, so I have Mr. Frog, if it is out, and it should be, if jump is greater and equal to 10, you should have it go out of this loop. It should break. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to print Mr. Frog for every day. Okay, so I'm going to run this code and I will come back to explain what I did here. And let me just go run and choose run, or if the second time you can choose Control plus R or Command SR. And what I get from here is like this. Doesn't look good. And what's wrong with my code? From start 0, of course, is from here. That's my Mr. Loop. And every day it will jump, and from 0 and jump 3, and now the jump would be and it should be jump from the end plus 3. Oh, so I make a mistake here, because it should be from the start position and plus 3. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. And now it looks like this. And after that, I will print the date. So I will run it again. It will be 8 days. Okay, that's my code, and I'm going to explain to you right now. Now let's go back to this this map, and we have the start position from 0, and then in day 1 we jump to 3, and now we end up with 1 meter because we slip down 2 meters, and if it's out, and then it should be yes, but in day 1 obviously is no. So I go back to my program, and what I do here is I define something called the Mr. Frog at the day 0, and he's at 0, and then since he in day 0 he haven't jumped yet, so everything is just 0, 0, and false. And now he's going to jump. Now we use something called while loop, and in the while loop I use while and this condition. If this condition is true, it will loop forever. Only in the case I want to break it, I will want to break this while loop, and it will stop this while loop. And that's why I have the condition here. If Mr. Frog is out, which here should be true, and it should break the while loop. Break this while loop. So let's just start from the day 1. Since the day is 0, now day 0 add 1. Now day should be 1. In day 1, Mr. Frog will the start value should be the same like the end position, like yesterday's position. At the beginning, because I divide 0 to here, so Mr. Frog start value should be 0. And now he want to jump, so he just jump 3 meters, and I will use Mr. Frog's start position plus 3, and now you will get a new jump position, and here for day 1 it should be 3. Okay, because you jump from the start, and then plus 3 equal to jump. Now at the 9th time, Mr. Frog just sleep, and he slide down 2 meters, and now he only get the end. You have to subtract 2, and now Mr. Frog will go to the 1 meter. Just go down from 3 meter to 1 meter. And here, I want to know if Mr. Frog is get out from the well or not. And you do this thing. It looks like a condition, right? It is an expression, and it's saying if Mr. Frog jump after he jump, should it be greater or equal to 10? Because if greater or equal to 10, it would be out of the well. And I just want to see how the Mr. Frog do, and that's why I print Mr. Frog. And here, if Mr. Frog is out from the well, and I don't have to go next day because it's already out. And that's why I print date is 8. Okay? And this program is just keep doing the loop, but we use something called dictionary to keep track of the status of Mr. Frog. And now you see an inventory when this the history of his status. You can see is start from 0, 1, 2, 7, 2 to 7. In the day 7, once he just jump out from 10, and that's our result. Now I want you to finish this code and let me know you have done here. And after that, I want you guys to change a little bit on this code, and like I don't want to be 10, I don't want to be 3 and 2, and we will change this and see what happened. Right? So but first I want you to finish this code and let me know and put it in the chat box. So I also copy it and paste to my repelit. Hopefully you would do the same thing on repelit if you don't have the PyCharm. All right, let's see. All right, so I think most of you guys have done, and what I want you to do is just like we changed a little bit on our question. If he's jump like let's say 5 meters in the daytime and slip down again is 3 meters, and now the well is 65 meters high, and let's change this value. He jumps 5 meters and slip down 3 meters, and the well is 65 meters. And could you just give me the answer of how many days Mr. Frog can jump out of the well? And let me know if you got the answer and put it in the chat box. So you have, in the daytime, he jumped 5 meters and slipped down 3 meters, and but the well height is 65 meters. If you know the answer, please let me know. So he jumps 5 meters in the daytime and go down 3 meters. Every day he will gain 2 meters. But the height of the well is 65. And how many days Mr. Frog can jump out from the well? You should change your program a little bit and you should get the answer from 5, 3, and 65. So go back here and you have he jumped 5 meters and slipped 3 meters, and the well height is 65. Okay, it's 65. 3 meters, 5 meters, 3 meters, and 65. And someone told me it's 30 days. Someone told me it's 31 days. And that's 61 days. And what's the correct answer for this jump? Like jump 5 days, slip down 3 meters, and the height is 65. So I'm going to run it and see what's the result. So if you get 31 days, okay, it will get 31 days, right? Yeah, I think Anthony already defined something very funny. Okay, so yeah, I guess you guys get the idea how the Mr. Frog do. But think about that. If in our well, so in our well, if only one frog, right? if there are Mr. Frog 2, so here's Mr. Frog 1, and you also have Mr. Frog 2. So Mr. Frog 2 have also want to jump out from the well, but he jumped out from the well with different pattern. So Mr. Frog 2, he jumped 5 meters and 3 meters, and now the well is 65 meters high. So you have 2 frogs in the well. And how many days, which frog, how many days Mr. Frog 1 and 2 will jump out from the well? And who will jump out the well? Who will jump out from the well first? Okay, but obviously here is Mr. Frog 2, right? If I turn yeah, so let's keep it simple. So we have 2 frogs, and Mr. Frog 1 will jump 3 meters and slip 2 meters. Mr. Frog 2 will jump 5 meters and slip down 3 meters. So they will both jump all the way out from the well. So the question is, how many days for Mr. Frog 1 and 2 will jump out from the well? And who will jump out from the well first? And I want you to use the Python programming. You are going to change this program, and you can also output the answer and give me the answer of these two questions. First is how many days Mr. Frog 1 jump out from the well, and Mr. Frog 2 jump out from the well, and who will jump out from the well first? And you should answer this question in the programming. Use Python. Okay, once you are done, and please send me the answer, and that's the homework for you for this week. Okay, and I also want you to do not put this one in here. Probably you can use a function, define a function for this one, so you don't have to do frog 1 and frog 2 all the time. Hopefully you get what I'm saying, but it's up to you how to get the answer. And again, you have different date. All right, so yeah, and it should be much more challenge if you have 2 frog, and it's up to you how to solve this problem. But I just want to get the answer to show how these 2 frogs can jump out from the well. You can jump out from the well for Mr. Frog 1 and Mr. Frog 2, and how do they jump out from the well? All right, so I think that's it for this week. And if you finish your code, and please send it to help@dataera.ca. And now if you have any question, please join the Zoom, and I can answer your question. Yes. Once again, if you have any question, you can join me in Zoom. If you are done with the coding or you haven't done it yet, and you can work on this program in this week. But I changed the program a little bit and just want you to give me the answer if there are 2 frogs in the well, and how would each one jump out from the well. And of course, you can use your mathematics skill to solve the problem, and it's up to you. And that's it for today. If you have any question, please join the Zoom. Jump out. Hey, Michael.
This is so hard.
Is it hard? Because yeah, we are getting harder a little bit, and yeah, but don't worry. And as long as you understand how what does it mean, like what the frog means, what is star mean, it's just a key, and then have the value. So
can you shut down the YouTube? It's very loud.
Okay, so I'm going to shut down the okay. So yeah, hopefully you got what I'm saying here, and hopefully you can understand how this math work, like from day 1 to day 8, and how the Mr. Frog jump out from the well. Okay. I think that's it for today. If there's no question, and see you next week.
Bye.